Welcome to the world of input-output interfacing. In this session, we will explore the fundamentals of input-output port design and the various interfacing techniques used to connect external devices to a microprocessor or microcontroller system. Get ready to dive into the essential concepts that bridge the digital world with the physical one. Let's begin by understanding the basics. Input-output interfacing is the process of connecting external devices to a microprocessor or microcontroller system. This connection is achieved through specialized interface circuits that act as a bridge between the processor and the outside world. These interface circuits facilitate the exchange of data and control signals, enabling the microprocessor to interact with various devices. There are mainly two types of input-output interfacing: parallel input-output and serial input-output. Parallel input-output involves transmitting multiple data bits simultaneously on separate lines. This method offers faster data transfer rates but requires more pins and is typically used for shorter distances. Serial input-output, on the other hand, transmits data bits sequentially on a single line. This approach is slower but requires fewer pins and is suitable for longer distances. An input-output port design consists of three key components: an address decoder, a data buffer, and control logic. The address decoder selects a specific port by decoding the address signals from the microprocessor. The data buffer holds the data temporarily during the transfer between the microprocessor and the external device. The control logic manages the read and write operations, ensuring proper data flow and synchronization. When it comes to input-output addressing, there are two main methods: memory-mapped input-output and isolated input-output. Memory-mapped input-output uses the same address space for both memory and input-output devices. This means that no special input-output instructions are needed, and standard memory access instructions like move, load, and store can be used to communicate with input-output devices. Isolated input-output uses a separate address space for input-output devices, requiring special input-output instructions such as in and out to perform data transfers. There are primarily two data transfer methods: polling and interrupt. In polling, the central processing unit continuously checks the status of the device to see if it is ready for data transfer. It is simple to implement but wastes central processing unit time. It is good for fast devices. In interrupt method, the device signals the central processing unit when it is ready for data transfer. It provides efficient central processing unit usage, but more complex to implement. It is good for slow devices. Let's consider a simple 8-bit output port. It involves the address bus, the data bus, and the control signals. When the address matches, the data is latched to the output. In summary, input-output interfacing connects external devices to the central processing unit, utilizing parallel versus serial data transfer methods. Port design includes a decoder, buffer, and control logic, employing either memory-mapped or isolated input-output addressing. Data transfer techniques include polling, where the central processing unit checks device status repeatedly, and interrupt, where the device signals the central processing unit when ready. Circuit implementation involves latches and decoders, ensuring proper timing and control signal management. Effective input-output interfacing is essential for building robust digital systems that communicate seamlessly with the external world. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.